are back. Oh, you guys, I am so blessed and so honored to have an opportunity to bring you content and information that I pray helps you. Whatever it is that you're going through, I pray that whatever we talk about on the podcast resonates with you. And oftentimes I'll have lighthearted episodes and interviews, and other times I'll have super heavy, but with the intent to bring awareness. And most of the time I'll have very encouraging, uplifting, enlightening interviews, of which are my favorite. They're all my favorite, but those are my favorite because we are all on a journey right now. And if we can bring you words of encouragement while you're going through your journey, and if our traumas can help you while you're going through your perceived trauma, then it's all worth it, because we are all here collectively to heal. We're all here collectively to get through this journey called life. And whatever life presents us will dictate and determine the choices that we make that will set the precedence for what comes next. And I'm always about the underdog. I'm always about stories of grit and determination, resilience and fortitude and faith and support and love. And the interview that we're going to do today is all of that. Can you imagine for a moment, if you're 14 months of age, you obviously don't know much about life, but you have parents and family members that know everything about life. You're 14 months of age and you're diagnosed with cancer with 0 chances to live. 0 chances to live. And you fast forward and you're 16 years of age with all the hope, all the faith, all the desire, all the commitment, all of the grit and determination to help others while they're going through something traumatizing. Can you imagine what that's like, being 16 years of age, knowing at the age of 14 months, you were diagnosed with cancer and you had 0 chances to live? That in and of itself is a mic drop moment right there. I can only wish that I have moments like that and live long enough to share them with you. So today I have a guest. His name is Gio. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. We have his beautiful mother, Michelle, here with him. This is his story. His story is at the 14 months of age, he was diagnosed with cancer. No chance to live. 0. He should not be here today, but he's here. He's in person. We're going to talk about his story, his journey. And that alone is inspiring. If you're having a bad day or a bad moment, or you're going through something in life that's just rocking you right now, this story will put everything into perspective. If it's a story of true faith where God is just truly directing and ordering his steps, and he's here to talk about it. Not only has he survived, not only is he a good example and a role model for those that are going through this, whether it's cancer or some illness or anything like that. He's an ambassador for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There's so many things that he's done in such a short period of time of his life. He's taking his trauma, his health issue, his journey, and he's helping others. And I couldn't be more honored and more impressed with this young man and what he's done and what he continues to do. And if you were to meet him, you would never know he's going through this. We could all learn from that. So right now, welcome, Gio. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy.
That was a mouthful of an introduction right there.
That was big. That was a big one.
But at the same time, it's true. This is everything that you're going through. This is everything that you represent. Wow. So I just want to know, because I have some notes here to questions to ask you. So given that you were diagnosed at such a young age, right?
Yes.
Clearly you don't remember anything at that time, or most of what you know is from your parents sharing the story with you. Mm-hmm. What's something your family did during that time that really made you feel safe and loved based on their recollection?
Some things that my parents always did. My mom always used to whisper in my ear, "You're brave, you're strong, you're knowledgeable." She used to just whisper in my ear so many amazing things. My dad, he used to, I remember it was a little, I forgot what it was. It was like a little stroller, but he used to push me, and I'm like, always do, I loved wheelies. He used to do that. And just honestly, my mom just used to whisper those things in my ear. That's a little bit I remember, but it was super hard, but that's what my mom always used to tell me too.
So Michelle, how did you have the bandwidth and the wherewithal, besides your faith, How did you get through this time where you're told that your 14-month-old son has cancer? And what kind of cancer was it again?
Brain cancer.
Okay, it's not like just lymph node cancer, right? Brain cancer.
Yes.
14 months of age with 0 chances to live. That is a stay on your knees moment, faith opportunity to not even get up and just say, Lord, I'm here. How did you get through this? Like, how did you navigate the impossible?
The way I navigated the impossible was, of course, faith, right? But when you're being told in a hospital setting, you have doctors around you. Our parents were called in, both my husband's side of the family, my side of the family are in a hospital room, and we have surgeons that have the screen open and they are zooming in on your son's brain, and they are about to tell you that they found a mass in his brain. And right away you think, well, okay, let's go into surgery. Let's take it out. But that's not what we were told. We were told that the tumor that Giovanni was diagnosed with was inoperable, and he had weeks to live. So
Weeks.
Jeez. He had weeks to live. I remember my dad put his hand on my shoulder, and as soon as he put his hand on my shoulder, it gave me the strength to just take things slow. It was just take it slow, listen to everything that they're going to tell you, and take that in. And you're going to stand tall. You're going to put your heart and everything into your faith. And I was going to start asking questions. So I got a little notebook and I started to ask questions. And you have to, as a parent, remember that not every diagnosis is going to be the same for everyone.
Right.
And that was for Giovanni.
And it sounds like you didn't allow the opportunity to become your diagnosis with any sickness is almost automatic, right? I have cancer, and you become the cancer.
Yes.
But you're not the cancer. You are not your diagnosis.
No.
How has this shaped you, Gio? While you were growing up, and at what age did you realize you had cancer and that you were overcoming it, that you had overcome it at that point? At what age did it really kind of resonate with you that, oh my gosh, I have brain cancer and they said I had, weeks to live, no chance, and here I am. And did you ever compare your life to those of your friends? Like you going through what you're going through and they weren't going through it. How did you get through that? And when did you realize I have cancer?
So I always remember, even when I was growing up, like 5, and even when I was a baby, my mom always told me, we're going in for MRIs and they're just taking pictures of you because you're so famous. So I never really knew I had cancer until I actually had to go into brain surgery. And that was a 10-hour craniotomy I had to have to see if I had a gene for a mechanism to see if it could help shrink my tumor. And I remember after brain surgery, my parents did sit me down and they did tell me I had brain cancer, and it never really changed me at all. I was still normal. I did go to school a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was like more 50-50 kind of. There was a lot of days I couldn't go. And I love the principal at this Liberty Elementary, Dr. Greiser, and he always says, if Gio could even go for 5 minutes, just let him go for 5 minutes. We could take him out. And as long as he's there with his friends, because I always say, your friends do play a big part, but I always do say, show me your friends and I show you your future.
10,000%.
Because it's who you hang around with is who you become. So
That's
choose
right.
them wisely.
That's right.
So that
Such sage words, right? Yeah.
So it really never defined me. And I always say, your diagnosis never defines you. And I always tell every single person that, regardless if they have something or not. And I always used to play with my friends. And I remember it was just day after day. So I always just say, I always thank God every day. I prayed every day. And what really helped me go through it was my abuelita's cooking her rice and all that with the Mexican side, but then also my grandpa, my nonna with their pasta, olives.
Yeah.
I remember it was like Italian restaurant every single time on Friday. They used to have to poke me.
Yeah.
And I was in there basically all day. And they were like, you're the first kid to come in here and make it have like Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was super funny because my nono actually brought a bottle of wine for the doctor.
Of course he did.
And he's just the old school Italian guy.
Yeah.
He's the best. And I always used to remember, I used to tell Bim, my nurse, can you hurry up? Because I had to go to work with my dad and collect checks.
Oh my
That's
goodness,
one thing
what
I
a
always remember.
perspective.
But I never really let it define me.
Yeah. So, Mom, knowing that this was happening and reframing this experience essentially is what you were doing to not become this thing. How did you keep your peace about you? And I know your faith is number one in your life, and that's the only way we can get through things in life. Without our faith, we have nothing. How did you manage to keep yourself together? I mean, because let's just keep it real. We're human. We're human going through a human experience, right? We're in this world, but we're not of it. But how did you manage to keep yourself from not just completely breaking down every day and crying and being that person where you ask God, why? Why is this happening, right? And the way I look at that most of the time is, why not?
Yes.
Right? Who are we to not go through something like this? Like, how did you manage?
Well, I chose it. I chose to not let it, not let that feeling set in. So I remember when we came home from the hospital with him, I went upstairs. I asked the family just to give me some time. I went upstairs, went into the shower. I just cried, let it all out. When I came out of the shower, I stood in my room and I had a moment and I put my hands up and I didn't ask God to save Giovanni. I didn't say, save my son. I said, guide us, Lord, guide us with the work that you want us to do. So when I asked God for that, the reason why I asked him was because I didn't want to ask to save him because I knew there were other parents out there that would lose their children. Their children were not going to make it. So I just chose to stand tall, know that we were going to give him the best quality of life. And that was to come together strong as a family.
Yeah.
Myself, my husband, and I had my son, Antonino, was 7 years old at the time. I have Anthony to think about. We have a business that we're running. We have a home, and we knew that, okay, this is what the doctors are stating, right? We are going to go through it day by day, and we are going to do what's in our best interest for Giovanni. And that was just to go one day at a time and choose strength, choose love, and choose each other.
Wow, that's a support system right there.
It is.
So while you were going through all of this, Gio, obviously you were in and out of treatments. Obviously, the hospital was like your second home.
Exactly.
What did you do to help distract you from all of that? How did you navigate that being your life, right? And still maintain your childhood?
Of course, like we always used to, like my dad, even like going through my second chemo, my first chemo, we were isolated for a whole year and even probably even longer. But then as I got a little bit older, we always used to go to the desert. I ride dirt bike, quads. We do the lake.
You're still active. I love it.
Oh yeah, I always say you have to be active because once you stop,
that's it.
Then that's it. That's when you start getting just
the atrophy, especially in your bottom. Yeah.
So we do that a lot, and then we do a lot of walks. I used to do BMX, and even like I used to play with my friends a little bit, but it was hard because going through the chemo, you can't really do much because your immune system.
Yeah.
But once you're off of it, you could do so much more. And it's all about building your immune system, eating clean. And what really helped me is just honestly family. I have a younger sister. I always say she's the boss.
Yeah.
And she's the best. I have an older brother for that support too. And he's really the biggest support because even after brain surgery, I remember when I was even going through chemo, he used to take me to the gym for just a little bit to go on the treadmill, to just lift some weights. And he really pushed me to go to the gym even when I felt like I couldn't, but he was the one that helped me. And then Bella, she's just the best. She's she always just, when I felt sad, she always used to bring my spirits up, and she's really the best. And it's just really family and friends.
So going through all of this, are there some things that you learned about yourself aside from your faith being strengthened? Are there some things that you learned about yourself and that you're proud of?
I learned sharing my story could really help others. And just even if it's the smallest thing to the even bigger.
Yeah.
Like there's a boy named Eric. He was the I believe the 5,000th wish for Make-A-Wish, and I can never forget. I met him at the gala, and because the mom just met me, and he had a similar tumor to mine, brain tumor, but his was a lot faster growing. And he's the best. He says, Gio, can I get your number? And can I call you whenever I want? I'm like, here's my number. Call me anytime. If you have a problem, call me.
So good.
Whatever you need. And it's just sharing your story and helping others because you don't know what they're going through.
It's true. And you show up at a moment where they could feel like they don't have any hope, right? And then they hear just
100%.
one part of your story. And that's partly why I created this podcast, because I feel like we all have a story and we all have a journey,
Yes.
and not sharing would be very selfish.
Oh, 100%. I
Right.
would say sharing your story to help others. And even if they're going through it or not, it can
Yeah.
help them in any way.
Yeah. So going through all of this, you obviously, you've been in remission for what, few years now?
2 years.
2 years. How do you feel? What is that feeling all about? What are you going through because of this?
Honestly, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I always say it's like a big stone on your back, but now it's released. I always say, but even going through it, I was never faced with fear, because I know once you have fear and you're worried, I feel like that's when like the enemy tries to get you.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's when you always have faith and you're just walking day by day and you do it with God, that's really what helps you. And I just feel so much better now. I'm a little bit more active. I go to the gym more. I do dirt bike riding more. I'm out there more.
Yeah. So obviously you're healthy now.
Yes.
So have you tried to recapture some of that youth, right? Now you're a teen, have you tried to recapture some of those aspects that you've lost, or do you not look at the fact that you've lost, that you've only gained because of your health now?
Well, of course, I feel like I never lost anything, because it's like I never wanted to go through this. I didn't choose this, but going through it just made me so much more, I say, mature than others. Like I felt like I never fit in with a lot of kids, because I wouldn't say they're immature, but for me being as mature as I am, they weren't like as me, and I never expected for anybody to be like I am.
Yeah.
But it's hard, because honestly, that's why I choose my circle very small.
Of course. And Mom, what is your observation of who he's become today, now that he's healthy?
Wow. Giovanni was always an amazing little boy from the start.
Yeah.
And he has always shined bright through the beginning of his journey.
Yeah.
Whether on chemo or off of chemo, he has revolved into an amazing young man that I'm so proud to call his mom. He is just this glimpse of hope for us, even as his parents, and for others. And I am just graciously proud of you, Giovanni. And I have witnessing all of the other parents and people and adults, probably more adults than anything, telling me that after they spoke with Giovanni, that he has changed something in their life, and a way that they are going to take forward for themselves. And that was truly, it's amazing to hear as a mom, from teachers to people we just meet, family members, his own friends have told me what a great son you have.
Yeah.
And it feels great.
You must be so proud of him. Yeah, I love it.
So proud.
So Gio, are there some new habits that you've developed now that you're healthy, right? That are an intricate part of your routine? And if there are, what are they?
Some habits is like I'm going to like Bochi with my no-no a lot more, even though he's still a little sick right now. I try to get him out there. I've been doing like a lot of IVs at Live Natural. Dr. Fan is
one of my dear friends.
Wow, Dr. Fan.
Tell him I said hello the next time you see him. Tell him you just did my podcast. I remember when he had that one location in Little Italy. Now he has Cardiff.
Exactly. That's the only, honestly, that's our favorite location. They have literally one. I feel like it's just amazing there, the vibe.
Yeah.
And they're the best there.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of IVs. I'm even going to help them with their business, promoting them with the Make-A-Wish and all everything. So, because I feel like so many people need to know them.
Yeah,
because
they do. Because of what they offer. Yeah.
Exactly. Just because of what they offer and what they do. And they really help their clients with high doses of vitamin C bags.
Yep.
Because you could take all the supplements you want, but getting it through an IV just hits the body so much more.
And it's intravenous. It's right away. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you done some ozone therapy as well?
I haven't.
Yeah, that's the next. That's next. Yeah, that helped me with my viral loads. If I have black mold in my body, that's helped. Yeah. So you've got all these healthy habits now, and you are healthy. You're thriving. You have, for all intent and purposes, a normal life now. But I don't feel like you'll ever have a true normal life, given what you were handed in life early.
Of course.
But you've somehow managed to turn this around and be a spokesperson for people. Tell me a little bit about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and how that's played a significant role in your life now.
It's played a big role because I can never forget when I met this boy, Joshua. He had a terminal cancer, and I believe he did pass away. And Fastlane, for his Make-A-Wish, he wanted Fastlane, which is a bunch of exotic cars, to go by his house. So we all met at, I forgot what it was, but we all met in a group. And then my godfather, Peter, we got in his car and we drove by his house and with Fastlane. And then I hopped out of the car, and then I met one of the Make-A-Wish ladies, and I was showing support because it was really hard seeing him. But I had my rosary, and I was praying for him when I was there because I knew he was gonna be fine. And it's hard because you never know what they're going through or how severe it is,
or when their time is. You just don't know.
Of course. Yeah. So I was there, and I met one of the Make-A-Wish ladies, and she was like, she gave me the offer. How would you like to be a Make-A-Wish ambassador? So ever since that day, I've been helping Make-A-Wish. I believe last year I got to 10,000 for raising money, and the year before that I got to a combined of 128,000.
Wow.
For Make-A-Wish.
Wow. So how does that feel, given where you've come from to where you are now, and the opportunity that you've been given to inspire others who are in your shoes, who are in the shoes you were in, and you're on the other side of it? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel amazing. It makes me feel accomplished, and I still have a long life to live, and I know there's so much more I'm going to accomplish.
Yeah.
But it just makes me feel like more, like, honestly accomplished.
Yeah. And so what do you feel are some of the most special moments with Make-A-Wish that you could, if you were to like put them all in one category, what would some of the most special moments with Make-A-Wish be that you can't just forget?
One of them that I can't forget was especially my Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
I went to the islands of Atlantis in the Bahamas.
Oh, wow.
And for a week, it was the best time ever. I wish my sister could have come, but she was just born. So it was the best wish I ever could have asked for, because I couldn't, as a baby, my dream was always to go to the beach, but I couldn't because the sand and everything. And the first thing I did when I got to Atlantis was touch the sand.
Oh.
And I had a coconut
so
cruise
simple.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Something so simple, but such a big...
A lot of us take for granted, though, that we can put our feet on sand and the dirt, right? Like
100%.
Every morning when you wake up, thank you, God, for putting breath in my lungs for one more day, right? Just simple things like that.
Simple things like that. And it was the best trip I ever could have asked for. I had one of my favorite parts was sipping on a coconut cruiser on the beaches. And I told my parents, leave me alone. This is my time. And I had a coconut with the umbrella, just drinking it. And even because I wanted to swim with sharks.
Yeah.
And I couldn't swim with sharks, but I got to swim with dolphins, which was pretty amazing. But soon I'll probably swim with sharks.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Wow. So Mom, you're witnessing your son evolve into this leader, right? He's leading, he's influencing, he's taking, the hand that he's been dealt, right? And he's not spiraling, he's not allowing it to define him, he's not woe is me, he's not complaining. He's doing the opposite, and he's inspiring others. He's leading by example. He's staying true to his faith. He's so unselfish. What's going through your mind when you see him evolving into this person?
It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
And it's a moment that I prayed to get to.
Yeah.
And it's revolving. And I go back to that day that I was in the room when I put my hands up. I gave it to God. And when I asked him to guide us, I feel throughout the last 15 years, not in the beginning, but it was more towards the last 5 to 6 years, is where all of a sudden God's sending people, sending this person, sending all these people quickly in our lives. And I was like, okay, this is we're ready. This is the time. And I remember speaking with Giovanni, it's time to do God's work.
Oh,
So the last 6 years, I feel we have just been hitting it hard with just whatever's coming into play, with people coming into our lives, with the work, with Make-A-Wish, and with inspiring even at his school. People are starting to hear about Giovanni and our family.
yeah.
And they're starting to, they'll reach out to us and ask us for guidance and help. And all it is I asked for it. It's God's time, and Giovanni is doing the work of God, and that's exactly what it is.
You're just being obedient.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're being obedient.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little about like your inspiration. I know your grandfather inspires you, the cooking inspires you, helping others inspire you. What would you say to another child who's just starting their own cancer journey, who might feel scared or alone? And keep in mind, you were diagnosed at an age where you had no idea what was going on. So what encouragement would you give that person who's going through this right now, that's so afraid, so scared, so alone, that don't quite know how to push through and to have the faith, because it's truly blind faith? Because you can't see it, you can't touch it, it isn't tangible. How would you encourage them?
One way I'll encourage them is I will always say, never give up. Always know there are always going to be bumps in the road, but there is nothing that you can never overcome. So I always say, be positive, never be negative, never doubt yourself, never say, oh, why me? And I would always say, just be positive. Always know there's that light that's going to come. And I always pray. I would say prayer is a big part of my life. And even like depending on what they have, just go to church, pray, and just get yourself out there, go in the sun, or if you can't, just read a joke book. I always use one thing that
humor,
really helps, humor, and joke books, laughter, and always surround yourself in a good environment. And anybody that does get diagnosed, just be positive is what I have to say. So,
Mom, how do you keep going? I know your faith is really big, but there are times, I'm sure we all go through this, where we're just like, do you ever doubt yourself? Do you ever have these feelings of, oh my gosh, can I do this? Is this something I can keep doing? Because that's just the human side of us, questioning and doubting, because we can't see what's going to happen next. But when we have faith in someone who does, for the person that's out there who doesn't have that faith, right? How would you encourage them to keep going and to just not give up?
One day at a time.
Yeah.
If we're going to keep it simple, I would say one day at a time. Get a notebook, write in that notebook, ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask questions, look for someone to talk to. And don't lose your faith, but yet if they just keep it simplistic and go one day at a time, you'll get through that day, and then you'll be to the next day. And when there's different times in their life where there's going to be better times, and then there's times where you'll get the call where maybe there's tumor growth and you have to start a protocol. Well, prepare yourself. Yeah. Prepare yourself, get through it, plan, and just know that they'll get through that, and you keep going one day at a time. One day at a time.
So you're heavily involved with events and in the community. So what do you, now that you're healthy, what are your goals for the future?
My goals for the future, I want to get into Section 8 housing. I want to have own property, real estate.
I know a good agent. Freedom. I know a good real estate agent.
Oh yeah, I want to get into digital marketing. I want to do different things. I want to put all my like stuff in one bag.
You want to have different arteries of
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I want to learn the stock market, real estate, and a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And Mom, what do you see for him?
I see him being very successful, but also when he starts his career, I do see what he's always talked about when he was a little boy is he wants to give back.
Yeah.
But he says he needs to make the big numbers.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to create a very successful business, as he always talked about when he was little, but he still emphasizes on giving back. So I see him really working very hard.
I have to say, because right now I'm helping Make-A-Wish, but I said I'm going to do it until I'm 18, but then I'm going to take that break just so I could build my big business, so I could donate even bigger numbers.
Yeah.
But by myself.
Well, here's the thing, right? If something is birthed inside of you, and if you have a vision to do something, half the battle is being obedient to do it, right? Because a lot of distractions will tell you don't do it. A lot of distractions will say that's never going to be. So I feel like
Yes.
the obedience is in the doing. Just do it. Just
do
start. And everything else will start to fall into place for you as it already has, right?
100%.
You half of what you've been through is, well, okay, we're going to do this. We're committing ourselves to this. We're going to obey what God has put in our hearts, and we're going to do his work.
Exactly.
And he'll bless it, right? You don't have to worry about where it's going to come from, because all of those things are just resources to you. He's the true source.
Exactly.
You don't ever have to worry about where it's going to come from, because you may think it's going to come over here, but no, it's actually, he's going to deliver in a way that you're not going to even question it's him.
Exactly.
So if someone's out there watching right now, what's one word of encouragement or some encouragement that you would give that person or those people who are going through this right now, aside from what you've learned how to navigate through this journey? What's one good piece of advice that you would give them?
One piece of advice I will always say is never listen to the doctors. Always get second, third, even fourth opinions. I always believe in Eastern Western medicine, because sometimes the medical pharma just wants to give you just all these pills that just doesn't work. And sometimes you have to go holistic, because who knows if holistic could work even better and stronger, but not hurt your body as much as just, let's say, chemotherapy. But I also understand if there's no choice and they do have to go on chemotherapy,
Right.
do give them vitamin C as they're going through it.
Yeah.
If they can't do that, maybe wait until they're done after chemo, but then do vitamin C, give them every single supplement that they need holistically.
Yeah.
To overcome all that bad stuff that the doctors gave them with chemo.
It's true, because, we all go through our own health journeys. And I just recently went through my own health journey, and the doctors were prescribing all sorts of medication. And for example, an antibiotic, I go, what infection are you treating
Exactly.
that you haven't proved? Right? No, I'm not taking that antibiotic. Then they prescribe something else. What are you treating with that, right?
Oh, 100%.
And you have to be an advocate for yourself, right? Because remember, doctors are they're practicing medicine. They haven't figured it out yet.
No.
Oh,
So they're
100%.
practicing. And we, unfortunately, are their guinea pigs. And big pharma is a big thing.
Right.
100%.
So you have to be your own advocate. And when you're dealing with cancer, there are certain things that have to be done,
Right.
that there's just no way around it.
Of
right?
course.
It's kind of like if you have an infection, you should probably take an antibiotic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You can't avoid certain things. But when it comes to the rights that you have as a human being, and you know your body, I'm not so sure we should be doing that. I'm going to explore this over here. You have to be your own advocate.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
You have to be your own advocate. I would say you are your child's best advocate.
Yep.
And if something doesn't sound right or feel right, you need to question it and know that you, as the parent, have the right to say no.
Yeah.
So, as for instance, Giovanni, we denied the biopsy when he was a baby.
Right.
And the reason why we denied the biopsy was because he was diagnosed with juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma and diencephalic syndrome. The diencephalic syndrome comes from the tumor lying on a part of the brain where he lost all his reserve. So if he were to have gone into this biopsy, we would have lost him on the table. So we are lucky that we advocated saying no. We got 3 opinions. We paid out of pocket 1, 2, 3 opinions. We still made the appointment to go see the surgeon up in Los Angeles. And that was a beautiful moment that I could share, because when we walked into the surgeon's office, there were letters on the wall that said, "Thank you, Dr. Kahan, for saving my life. Thank you for taking my tumor out." So when Dr. Kahan came in, he said, "Ms. Giannoni, do you know what's on the table right there?" I said, "No." He goes, "Go open it up." I said, "Okay." So I open up this book. I go, "This is a book." He goes, "Yeah, that's a protocol book." He said, "You know what we're going to do today?" I had no clue what he was about to say. I said, "No, what are we going to do?" He said, "Well, we're going to save your son's life." And he said, "Do you know how?" I said, "No." No.
Oh, yeah.
I know what he was going to say. He said, "Well, can I go in and do a biopsy on your son?" "Absolutely, but it is not in his best interest." And I said, "Well, that's why we are here today.
Yeah.
We were going to come to you in person and deny the biopsy, but I am so happy that you were on board with us. What's next? He goes, well, can you stay up in Los Angeles for about a week? I said, yes. So they went up on, the brain tumor board. All the doctors talked, and he denied the biopsy, and he saved, I believe he set the platform that day. And that day he also gave me the strength to know that you can say no. It's okay. And I'm glad that we did, because gave us time. And he's here today.
See, when you fight for yourself, that's something telling you, right?
Exactly.
You have to choose for you, and it isn't always going to be linear. It's not going to be just a straight shot, right? There's going to be some hiccups along the way, and you're going to constantly
100%.
have to readjust and pivot.
Right.
But I believe that's where your faith kicks in.
Exactly.
Well, you have been such an inspiration. I mean, just the fact that you're not supposed to be here.
No.
You are here. You're making a difference in so many people's lives. You continue to help others, and you're so giving. As a family, you guys are so giving.
Yes.
As a family mom, well, and we're going to finish with this. What would you offer to a family right now who's going through this right now, that doesn't have their faith? They don't have the resources. They know they need to do something, but they don't know how to start.
I would offer my phone number. I would offer to share Giovanni's story. I would never tell anyone what to do, but yet if they heard his story from beginning to end, there's a lot. There's 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it would take hours of a podcast just to get through everything. But yet there are a lot of things throughout his journey that we did, different time frames that I believe gave us time, stretched out time.
Give me an example.
For example, we took him to a holistic practitioner, and there was a machine from Germany that he would sit on my lap, and he would hold these metal probes, I guess, and he would hold on to them, and it's going through his body in an electromagnetic.
Like an EMF.
Like an EMF.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things we did in the beginning, parasite cleansing.
Oh, that's so good.
You feel amazing right after you do it.
I'm going through one right now, and I just feel like...
But this was when he was a baby. And
oh, my goodness.
We did that. And Tahibo tea is a big one.
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing now.
Okay.
Because Tahibo tea, we went to, I forgot the restaurant's name, but the owner's dad, he actually had a brain tumor. And he did this tea, 8 cups of tea a day, and he did it for a year, and his tumor liquefied within a year.
I love that.
And he did it all holistically, is what I love.
We just started on the tea.
We started
the tea about a year ago.
Yeah.
And within a year, between a year ago and today, his tumor has shrunk off of chemo.
Yep.
So there's, again, many things that we've done over time. And what I would like to do, if there's anyone out there, I am more than happy to, what I do is share what I've done with Giovanni. They have the information, and then they get to make those decisions for their child. So for instance, whatever they get from me sharing what I've done with Giovanni, they could go, they could pinpoint on something like, well, what about this? Can you share more of this? We'd like to do this with our child. I could share it. There's a lot. There's a lot of things, but I believe I was guided. We were guided through this journey with him, right people at the right time.
Even through my dad's business, we met so many doctors, and all the doctors have gave my parents advice, and that's really helped me.
What does Dad do?
He's a tile contractor.
Okay, so he has a lot of people that he's connected to.
Oh,
yeah.
From pediatric neurosurgeons from Duke University.
Yeah.
When he was working, I just don't know her name, but she was a retired pediatric neurosurgeon from Duke University. And my husband was working on her home at the time that Giovanni was about to go in to his craniotomy. So she said, Michael, send me all of your son's scans, blood work, everything. Well, that was 10 years worth that I had to request. I got them for her. I sent them straight to Duke University. Duke University talked with Kaiser Permanente, Dr. Tran. They collaboratively came together, and they said we were making the right decision for Giovanni. And it was the best feeling ever, because you have Duke University talking with Kaiser saying, It's okay. You
Yeah.
guys are, it's going to
100%.
be okay.
Those are God winks.
Oh, exactly.
battling.
That's why I always say sometimes it's not about what you know, it's about who you know
Yeah.
to help you.
Yeah. And they always show up right when you need it.
Oh,
right. And you
absolutely.
don't know it until it shows up. You're like, okay, now I know why that happened. Right. You said, help
Exactly.
me over here.
Yes.
Oh,
So you have to
100%.
be completely open-minded to grasp all of this because this can be overwhelming. So what is the
Absolutely.
condition of the tumor now?
Right now it's stable. So no tumor growth. It shrunk a little bit off chemo. And right now I'm just living day by day and just super excited.
Yep. Any chances for it to go the other direction?
Well, 2 years ago, when we decided to take Giovanni off of chemo, of course, you have to go talk with
Yeah.
the doctors.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's working. And I said, give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Because I had a book of the last big book to go through. I said, I want to try a couple things with Giovanni that, we've learned a couple new things. And they gave us the opportunity to take him off chemo. And when we took him off of chemo, the first year was kind of rocky because doctors said within 3 to 6 months that the tumor was going to grow. So they said, well, we'll give you this time, but within 3 to 6 months, you're going to see tumor growth. And there's a new mechanist that we'll start Giovanni on. I said, okay, that's fine, doctor. All right, Giovanni, go home.
That's
stop
it.
chemo.
Yep.
But guess
I
what
did
happened?
need a break also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you go 3 months, 6
6
months,
months,
9
9
months to a year
Yeah.
stable.
Yeah.
3 months, 6 months, 9 months
Stable.
stable.
Yeah.
So here we are today,
Stable.
2 years and
Oh, yeah.
some. We are
Super
stable.
excited we made that decision.
Yeah.
Because even when I was on chemo,
Yeah.
that last maybe 6 months, it was super hard because I had no skin on my hands. I used to bleed every night.
Mm,
We used to wrap my arms, and it was just so much that I knew there was a sign to
Yeah.
get me off chemo
Yep.
for a break. And then that's when the outcome came where no tumor growth.
So out of all of this, hindsight,
Hindsight.
what do you feel now?
Now I feel just honestly blessed that I can help others and
Yeah.
just honestly just very knowledgeable
Yeah.
because of everything that I went through and just super excited to see what God has for
What the
me
future
in
holds.
the future, what the
Yeah.
future holds.
And Mom, what about you? What do you feel here? What do you see a future for Gio?
What I see is a young man in front of me that is going to do amazing things,
Yeah.
not only for himself, but for others.
Mhm.
I don't see him stopping.
Yeah.
I don't. A
Yeah.
lot of, we've had family members and friends tell us, you need to stop. You need to slow down.
Yeah.
Stop helping others. He needs to focus on himself. And you've had this long journey and it's time for you guys. I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't.
Exactly.
I feel that we are who we are
Mm,
and
And who
we
can help
choose.
is who we can help.
that's right.
We
Yeah.
choose to be who we are. And it's a great feeling, but it's also helpful, I think, for ourselves.
Yeah.
For me as a mom, for Gio, I see how passionate he is when he's
Oh,
out
yeah.
there and he's speaking with people and the community and what he does. It's because he wants to do it, not
Yeah.
because he has to do it.
Yeah.
It's like I've never been forced to do it. It's always come out of my heart.
Heart,
When it
yeah.
comes out of your heart
Mhm.
and God guides you to people,
Mm,
that's honestly the best thing. And when you have good advocates
Yeah.
to help you, like my dad's a business owner, he helps me like understand the business aspect. When I was like 5 years old, he teach me how to write a check. I'd be like, because that school never teaches you
that's
to do
dangerous
that.
for a little girl, though.
Yeah, for yeah,
yeah.
Right?
And-
Checks left and right. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
just money.
I told my dad, don't do that with my sister.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
No.
it's when you have good advocates, it really plays a big part in your life.
And
Like
it
my
gives
mom.
you hope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because I could go to my mom for support for like medical stuff, but then I have my dad for business stuff,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Well, I'm inspired by your story. And I know that when people watch this or hear it, they're going to be even more inspired because I can tell you right now, the odds of having brain cancer, not having any chance to live, and here you are, 15, 14 years later, right? And in
Right.
remission for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
And you're still going and you're still moving forward and you're not letting anything slow you down. If someone wants to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
I'm more than happy to give them my cell phone number. I
Okay.
could provide you my email
Yep.
address. We could also provide our Instagrams
Mhm.
on
So
my
any teenagers
Instagram.
that want to reach me on Instagram.
What's
they
your
can-
Instagram handle?
My Instagram is 619_Giovanni. GSG.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my Instagram. They always
Okay.
reach me on there.
Okay.
And that'll be a great way I can help any teenagers or anybody that needs help.
And Mom, what about you?
Mine's I'm going to have to look at, see what I called myself.
Always leave your phone number too.
But I am more than happy to provide that for you, and you
Right.
could put it on there.
Or get all of that for you. Yeah.
Because it's
yeah.
real important to let parents know that, again, I strive to say we are their best advocates.
Mm.
Do not feel scared or afraid when you have questions. If you're in that doctor's office and you're hearing whatever they're placing, they're speaking with you about, take a deep breath, write it in a notes. And it's okay if you don't want to ask the question in that moment. You could call later.
Yep.
Because sometimes a quick question could kind of confuse you.
That's right.
Or
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we are their best advocates, and I am gracious and thankful that we chose to not let fear set in our family. We chose to stand tall. We say we are together strong.
Yes.
Geo strong, together stronger.
Yep.
And I am I'm happy to be sitting here at your podcast today because, like I said, go back to that day when I put my hands up. I feel that your podcast today has it is a staple where I could actually walk out that door today and just kind of leave it behind and go forward with a beautiful life with all three of my kids and my husband and Geo, and get out there a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're excited to get out and
Just live life.
travel.
Yeah.
Live life is what I always say.
Yes.
Well, you guys have been an inspiration for me, and it makes what we're going through not trivial, but it really puts things into perspective.
Absolutely.
If you want to get a hold of Gio or Michelle, reach out to me. You can direct message me for those of you on my Instagram handle. I will definitely provide it. I'll send them your way for any sort of inquiries. You guys, this is a good lesson in putting everything into perspective. If you're going through something right now, if you're struggling with a diagnosis, whether it's cancer or anything else, my encouragement to you is do not become that diagnosis. There's help for you. There's support for you. If you don't have family that's around you, reach out. There are hotlines you can reach out to. There are resources that are available for you. But the one takeaway, if not many, that I have here today is never give up. Never lose hope. Just because you're going through something doesn't mean you are that something. You're going through it. You're always coming from a place where we're going from to, but there's always the through, right? We're going from to the place of to, but there's always through, and you're just going through it. So you have to remind yourself that if you have to have faith, you have to have determination, resilience, and grit to get through this thing, whatever it is. And I'm just so honored and grateful to have been in this space with you today. It's making me reflect on my journey of what I'm going through and to keep a good perspective. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks
San Diego, as always, stay true to yourself. Honor the commitments you make to yourself, if it's in your health, if it's in your personal life, or all of the above. But keep God number one, because that is the only way we can get through this thing called life. It may not look good. It may not feel good, but we know who's in control, and that's what matters. So thank you for sharing today. I appreciate you
You're
guys.
welcome. Thank you for having us, Tammy.
Peace out, San Diego.